I've lived in this building for years, in a tiny one-bedroom on the 5th floor. It's old and a little rundown, the kind of place where the pipes clank and the walls creak at night. But it's cheap, and I've always liked the view. My window looks out over the city, and at night I can see the glow of streetlights and the soft hum of life continuing even when everything else feels still. The building across from me, though, it's different. It's been abandoned for as long as I can remember. No one comes in or out. The windows are grimy with dust and the walls are covered in layers of graffiti. It's the kind of place people avoid, not because it's dangerous, but because it just feels off. Like something happened there a long time ago, and it never quite recovered. I never paid it much attention. It was just part of the scenery, until a few nights ago. It was late, past midnight, and I was up, unable to sleep. I was standing at my window looking out at the darkened city when I saw it. A light. Just a faint glow coming from one of the windows in the building across the street. At first I thought it was a trick of my tired eyes, or maybe a reflection from a car passing below. But no, it was real. The light was coming from inside the building, flickering like an old bulb struggling to stay on. I squinted, trying to get a better look, but the glass was too dirty. Just as I was about to turn away, I saw movement, a shadow, barely noticeable, crossing in front of the window. My heart skipped a beat. No one was supposed to be in that building. It had been boarded up for years, condemned. But there it was, a figure standing in the window, just a silhouette against the dim light, watching. For a long moment I just stood there, staring back. I don't know why, but I couldn't look away. Something about the figure felt wrong, like it wasn't just a person standing there. It was too still, too focused, and then, slowly, its head tilted, as if it was looking right at me. I stumbled back from the window, my pulse racing. I told myself it was just some squatter, or maybe a trick of the light. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. That building was sealed tight. No one should have been inside. The next day, I tried to brush it off. It was probably nothing, just my mind playing tricks after too little sleep. But as night fell again, I found myself drawn back to the window, compelled to look. The light was on again, this time brighter, like it was beckoning me. And there, in the same window, was the figure, still, waiting, watching. Over the next few nights, it became a routine. I would glance out the window and there it would be, always in the same spot, never moving, just staring. I started closing my blinds, trying to ignore it. But every time I walked past, I could feel it. The presence, waiting for me to look. It was as if the figure knew I was there, just out of sight, and it was waiting for me to acknowledge it. Last night, I couldn't take it anymore. I yanked the blinds open, my hands shaking. The light in the building was off. No shadow, no figure. Nothing. I felt a rush of relief, thinking maybe it was over, that I had imagined the whole thing. But then I saw it. My reflection in the glass, distorted by the darkness behind me. There, just over my shoulder, was the figure, standing in my apartment. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. My breath caught in my throat as the air in the room turned cold, a creeping chill seeping into my bones. I don't know how long I stood there, staring at the glass, watching the figure watching me. But when I finally forced myself to move, to turn around, there was nothing. The room was empty. I haven't looked out the window since. But I can still feel it somewhere close, watching, waiting. And I know, the next time I see it, it won't be in the window across the street. It'll be right here, in the room with me.